Okay, got everything. Or I got all. This reminds me of show prep back in the day. When I had my brief radio career, because the local radio station. There's a lesson for you. Let me tell you a lesson. Well, don't worry, we'll get to the thing. So when you're a young person, you are in your 20s or 30s, and you're slowly finding out that the adults lied to you. Oh, by the way, Ivy the dog of no real value mug. Look at that. Made it for myself. Why don't you sell it because it's a $25 mug and that's like with no profit? These merch sites will, I draw the line. I draw the line. I know you guys give me guff about charging $500 for a minimalism course, but there's good reasons for it. I do draw the line, however, of charging you guys $25. I wouldn't even make that much money. And like sweatshirts cost like 50 or 60. And just so you know, if you have you listen to the different podcasters or influencers or whoever out there, and you, oh man, I really want to get their merch. Why is it so expensive? They are not screwing you over. The companies are. It really is. They're not. So I just have an issue of like, oh yeah, $60 for a sweatshirt. No, no, we're not going to do that. Plus, I can't put what I want on anyway. Anyway, going back to my story, you think you're missing, well, you are missing something. You're missing the truth, but you're like, well, I'm just having bad luck. I can't. So when you all of a sudden get something like a radio show, there's certain industries you break into where you're like, oh my God, I made it. And you don't realize that it's a very unimodal, the top 2% take like 95% of the income, whether that's actors, lawyers, or OnlyFans gals. And so you get there and you realize just how fickle and ever changing something like media, or at least old school legacy media, was. Like, oh, this is the new thing. Now we're going to move on, and then we're going to change the format. There's absolutely no stability of employment in radio, or at least who goes to radio now? The industry is defunct. And I thought finally, oh, maybe, here I'm making a little headway in here. I got an off obscure time show, but okay, I got this little thing on the side. It was minor. And okay, I got a little side gig. And then sure enough, like 3 months later, we're going to go all sports. Like the whole station is going to go all sports. I think that was the third in the metro. There were now 3 sports talk radio stations. This is radio and the housing market timed each other perfectly. And then I remember all the old timers making fun. Blog? What's a blog? What's a podcast? I'm not going to read my blog. Oh, why am I going to set up a blog? That guy was a boomer, and now he's retired, although he did have a successful career. But they all, the same generation, they gave you the shit advice in life, got caught with their pants down. What do you mean we're all fired? What do you mean, internet? And that was yet another straw on the already creaking camel's back, where I was just like, it when like, oh, we're switching formats, you don't have a radio station anymore, radio show anymore. Like, I've been here 3 months. Where you're like, oh yeah, it's all bullshit. This is all bullshit. I see it. I get it now. Everything you've said to me for the 3 decades of my life I've been on here has been bullshit. And yeah, but I do remember that you had to do show prep. And people would you only were paid per broadcast hour, not your prep. You had to do a lot of prep. And it was real simple. You just went on whatever Drudge Report was. You found the most insane, zany thing. Oh my God, the Democrats are doing it. Oh my God. And then you read, oh my God, could you see the Democrats are doing this? Simple common sense and logic that would have established itself. And as you can see, Rush Limbaugh prevented nothing from happening. He may have slowed it down. And I liked Rush Limbaugh. He was good. And yet here we are. Now we're on the internet, gang. And podcasters make more than any radio DJ ever did. More than they ever did. So I had to do all this stuff. There's a lot because I haven't been doing podcasts regularly, as you guys know. But it's because I've been busy doing things. But man, it came quick. It came quick where It's no different than school. Study, 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 school, 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 study, 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 school, school, girl. Worthless bint of a woman yelling at you because you didn't fucking break apart your sentences correctly. Work, 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 study, 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 school, school, school. And then one day it's the last day of school, and then blammo, you take that bus ride home at noon if the school was kind to give you half the day off. Although, like that. I gotta imagine it's something similar, like old timers when you finally retire. Like you retire for good, you work, 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 and then retire, and that's got to be a huge shift, huge. And it's the same thing here. Okay, get the Southern Command up and running. Okay, go do the bushes. Okay, go trim the tree. You got to get work, work, work. And all of a sudden, one day, I looked at my to-do list. It was all crossed up. I'm like, oh, not kidding though. Interesting. You'd like to think humans are independent-minded creatures, and they're not. But you'd like to fancy yourself one. And you logically have the concept and the understanding. Okay, work, 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 go, 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 do, 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 and then fun. And then we just turn the dial. It's not even a dial. Dial indicates a spectrum. No, we turn the switch from work to play, and then we go play. And your brain's like, wait, what are we doing now? Wait, what? Hold on, not work. And then part of your brain's like, yeah, the not work, the fun part. And the other brain, I don't know if it's your rote rehearsal or your subroutine brain or the daemons in the background daemons. Only IT guys are going to get that one. What do you mean play? And it takes a bit. You're like, oh, oh, I could go golf now. I go do the hiking thing. Anyway, bam, it hit. It hit. There's nothing, literally nothing to do. Some minor stuff like I can make my first quarter estimated tax payments, much to the chagrin of Chad Elkins, which, by the way, I'll be on the show later on tonight. Look, maybe you shouldn't look at your to-do list. Maybe you should. What do I want to do? Man, it takes it takes some adaptation. So I gotta, no, hike and all that. But I'll tell you another story. So my old man, after enough pulling of teeth to get him to come visit, I don't know what. Don't ask me about boomers and their stubbornness. Don't ask me why they love living in below zero, shit cold, wintry tundras. There's something about American boomers like, I want to live in the most Canadian state. No, it's too sunny down here, and there's zero income taxes, and the people are nice. I want to live up where a bunch of asshole Midwesterner, stuck up Swede, German, Lutheran types have no fun and drink shitty coffee. So I finally got my old man to come visit me in Rapid City, and I don't know if you picked this, not to, if you could pick up on the subtle hints. So, like every other old timer out there, he's picked up pickleball, and he's good. He was always good at tennis and some of the same skills, obviously. So I think the first thing we did when he was in Rapid City, it wasn't go to Mount Rushmore. It was he had to go find pickleball courts. He brought pickleball racket and pickleballs, and he brought extra rackets. And then he left 2 rackets, a couple balls for me and the girlfriend. Like, I wonder if he's trying to tell us something. I'm wondering if the dog of no real value, sitting there looking at me with the sad eyes, with the ball in her mouth, dropping in front. I wonder what she's trying to tell me. I wonder if she's trying to say something. I'm confused. So this is in the middle of finally finishing masterfully last artful strokes of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. Final things of, I'll touch up the paint on the baseboards a little bit for the house. It'll be all done and done with this shit. Didn't have time to pick up pickleball. Well, my old man's coming down this winter to Vegas. And again, I don't know if he's trying to tell me something, but he said, what's the mailing address? This is the mailing address. And in the mailbox comes a box. And I open it up. Oh, look at that. 2 pickleball rackets and some pickleballs. I wonder what he's trying to tell us. So now I have a double obligation that, and men will understand this, you women won't. One, he's going to die. So I should probably play pickleball with the old man. I could play. I'm horrible. I played it twice. So I should probably learn to pick up pickleball, so at least I can give the old man a decent game. But then there's the second, more manly command, order, mission, obligation, purpose and existence of living in life, where I have to get good enough in about a month and a half to just crush the old man. I have to beat this old man into the ground. I have to destroy him at pickleball. So now I'm on this mission over on the east side of the Las Vegas Valley. I got to find pickleball. And so there's pickleball courts all over the valley, but most of them are the cake eaters over on the west side in Summerlin. And I do hiking over there. So I've been hiking, and then I go to one of the pickleball courts. There's what, like 30 pickleball courts? 30 pickleball courts in this thing. And a lot of them, it's private. You gotta sign up. You gotta go to the YMCA. You just can't show up. So there's not a lot of public ones. So I found one that's public, kind of over on the west side where I go. There's one on the east side too, and it's good and bad. Bad in the way you got to sit and wait. You got to wait for a court to open up. I'm the sole guy. I gotta go in on couples or something. Hopefully there's a third wheel that's looking for a fourth. But then the good thing is, it's like, this is how it used to be. You go out in the real world. Let me explain something to you Zoomers. So you go out in the real world, and you don't worry about your social anxiety. Oh my God, are they gonna let me play pickle? What if I'm bad? I'm like, I will fucking hit you in your goddamn head with this paddle, pickleball paddle. It'll hurt more than a wiffle ball bat. But it was kind of cool. You go there, you sit, hey, what's going on? It's a sunny day out. And it's kind of neat because it's the neighborhood kids, but they're all old. You can't be young. I'm the youngest pickleball player in all the Vegas Valley. You cannot be not retired and play pickleball, apparently. So it's all these old timers, and you're sitting there, and at least these old timers can give you a little bit of guff. But I got paired up one time. So I'm sitting there waiting, and there's this little Asian lady, and don't fucking underestimate the little Asian ladies. I played badminton against teenage Asian girls, and they beat the ever-living shit out of me and my buddy one time. So there's this Asian lady gal, got to be 60, at least 60, if not 65. And she's like, you want to play? I'm like, yeah, I'll play. We'll go. So I'm not that good. Well, it didn't matter, because this little old ninja lady was just jumping and flying, and against two good in shape. They were older guys, but they weren't that old, and they were in good shape. I barely got any experience. This little old Asian gal, like fucking Jet Li, jumping, hitting, aggressive, playing up front. We won. I think, well, you play to 11. I think maybe I scored 3 points. Maybe. I cost us probably a lot more. It cost us to serve. But this gal, you're supposed to have half the court. Well, she would take up 75% and for the benefit of our team. But it was kind of cool. Yeah, we're gonna go out there and play. So now I got this obligation. I gotta go play pickleball. Oh no, the horrors. But it's a job. I got about a month and a half before my old man shows up. And I have, you know how it goes. You don't watch, I know Zoomers, you don't watch a YouTube video like, oh, I got it. I'm good now. Like, no, you got to get out there, get the muscle memory, learn the rules, learn the etiquette. She was pretty precise. No, play up there. All right. No, go back. Like, just she would tell me why. It was just, no, up. No, he hasn't served yet. There's rules, right? There's a reason I should play up front versus tell me what those are so you don't yell at me all the time. And it doesn't matter anyway, because you're going to do your kung fu shit and do a flip and smack it in the guy's head anyway. But it's like a job. I got to go and become an expert at pickleball. And the Ray, my old man, I'm not kidding. So the old man comes out to Rapid City, and he pulled in, so he went to bed right away. And the very next day, I got to go to find out where there's pickleball courts. He did. Goes down to the gym, see if he could sign up. He could sign up. He wakes up, goes play early in the morning. I'm still sleeping. And I'm thinking, how many hours a day does my old man play pickleball? And then you start doing the math. Well, I got 45 days. I'm not kidding. Literally, my plan, okay, I just got to sit down and do this. I'm not going to waste my time driving to the pickleball courts all the time. I got to go there and stay there all day. I got to keep playing until my right arm gives out. I got to practice. I got to go. I got to drill. I've started practicing with just a little bit of a twist on my, but you're not supposed to swing over the hip. You got to swing under the hip. So I saw the guy, he was putting a little bit of spin on it. Mine is just to get it over the fence. And just some inside baseball from an older man to all you younger guys. All right, anytime you're playing badminton, tennis, volleyball, or whatever, this is how you win, okay? Just get the ball over to the other team. Because the majority of the points you score is because they screw up. There you go. I remember playing volleyball, and it was fun. And I got good enough where I started getting to the bump set spike leagues. I guess, was that B or A? I forget what it was. C is the fun league. Go over this again for you people. So this is for you Zoomers. You'd be going outside to play on sand with other people. I know, take your fucking Ritalin medicine or whatever. Oh my God, social anxiety. I can't play. But the C leagues are fun. You just get it over. People bounce the ball back and forth. Occasionally you get laid. But then if you get good, then you get like, oh, you want to go on the beach? Oh, okay, sure. But once you got, I think it was high B or A, if you didn't bump set spike, they get pissed off at you. And I demoted myself back to the C leagues because I don't want to get the ball over. All right. Then they start keeping score. Well, I mean, you always keep score, but like, oh, they're a really good team. Team? I mean, team. Are we trying out for the Olympics? Look, I'm just here because I want to fuck that girl. Okay. That's the only reason I show up here at this time, because I know that's the same time she shows up. And now I'm trying to like show with. Can I just dive, get the ball over with them? Bump set spike, bump set spike. Like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, it's the same thing. Any kind of back and forth sport, just get the ball over to them. Just get it over to them. They're going to screw it up. So that's how it goes. All right. So speaking of the, I'm not joking. I could see it. Imagine if you were a 22-year-old kid today and you had to go and learn under your own volition. You'd have to go out and learn how to play pickleball. You had to go out. I wish I was joking, but I'd imagine not your minority. I guess damn near half of these Zoomer kids couldn't do it. Okay, and the reason I bring that up is I don't know if you've seen it on the YouTube channels and the advertisement, the BetterHelp. I think that's just one of them. I got some Hawaiian fucker. Just, you can see the soy. Now, he's a good actor. I don't know if they picked him for his acting ability or if he actually is using BetterHelp. But maybe you guys will see he's got the long hair. Maybe he's Samoan. I don't know. But longer hair, beard, I think Hawaiian. He's got a nice soft voice. And, hey, you need help. Da-da-da. And that would be one thing. I get it. That whoever put together BetterHelp is a brilliant person. Here's a bunch of unemployed psychology majors. They're too damn lazy to get their masters. Whether they get their master, get a licensure, but they're too damn lazy to just set up their own studio, get a master's. So this guy says, hey, your generations are just fucked in the head, completely fucked in the head. We lied to them for generations now. They're all fucked in the head. They're afraid of their own shadow. They can't go play pickleball with the old timers at the pickleball court. And so what we're going to do is I'll pay you people $20 an hour, and I'm going to charge $150. And these generations never set foot outside. They're probably too afraid to go talk to an actual therapist in an actual physical building or lie on the couch type of deal. So it's already online. Man, the stars align for that. Online, an overabundant supply of worthless 20-something idiots who have degrees in psychology that, they're not going to go get a doctorate or anything like that. Here's your chance to be employed. And everyone's fucked up because their parents didn't raise them right. And they all need therapy. And like I said, I'm applauding BetterHelp. That's like a brilliant idea, or any other kind of business model based on that. But then I'm starting to watch other videos where under 30, there was this, you'll see it commonly where they're like, hey, just get yourself into therapy. And that makes sense if you're talking about, you got like a legit mental illness, or the topic of conversation is mental illness. No, this is just rank and file, normal, everyday problems. But they're saying, get yourself into therapy. I'll admit a lot of this now this is selection bias, and I admit this, but I'm watching because you cannot help but see it. And I think I'm trying to like debunk the authenticity of this, but TikTok videos, TikTok girls in particular, you need to get into therapy. All the like dating coaches, therapy, guys, fuck therapy. There seems to be among obviously younger people that therapy is the part of a well-balanced everyday breakfast. Like, this is just something you do. You do your dental work, you get your car insurance, you go to work, you floss your teeth, and everybody has to get therapy. And I guarantee you, this is the new normal. They think it's normal. You all think this is normal. Dude, go back to, I don't know, World War II generation, where there might have actually been some problems. There might have actually been struggle and strife. It was shameful to go see a therapist. It was. Something's wrong with you. You can't get your shit together. And there's a tonnage of truth to that. What life is hard. Quit being a pussy. Fucking buckle down and deal with it. Not saying there weren't genuine instances like shell shock or there were marital problems or whatever. A pastor would normally cover that. But then, especially with the boomers, you coming in here with your faux science, your fraudulent science of therapy. We know how the human mind works. We got different fields of schools of thought. When you're like this young, whatever, high school student or college student, you got to take Psych 101. And you're like, yeah, okay, I guess so. And then as you get just a little bit of experience, like, this is all bullshit. And as you go, what was it? Was it even the New York Times? You know it's bad when the New York Times tell you you're wrong. But there's the validity crisis, and it's not just in psychology, it's in all the social sciences, where they can't repeat 2/3 of the results of the past, 50 years of psychological studies? There is no veracity to this field. There's some pockets, like, for example, schizophrenia. That's an identifiable, where it starts to blend over into neurochemistry. But this idea that we understand the human mind, and Freud with the fucking cigar, which I'm pro cigar, I get it. Everyone just wants to fuck their mother, you see. It's all bullshit. And then, don't you? You all criticize the boomers. You all hate the boomers. Oh my God, the boomers lied to us. But what do? You follow the exact same advice that the boomers. Hang on. Am I still there? Tell me one in the chat room if I'm still there. I hit the wire I wasn't supposed to hit. 1 if I'm here, 2 if I'm 0 if I'm not. I'm just gonna wait. Sorry, guys. This is how it goes when I have to fucking constantly. I'm here. Okay, good. Thank you very much, everybody. You criticize this generation about lying to you and being wrong about everything in the world. And that's the generation that popularized psychology. That's the generation that made it seem like it was a thing. You actually get fucking insurance to go see a therapist. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its point in place. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get an independent third party, but where it becomes this, now it's an everyday thing. Now you're like, oh yeah, I just got to talk to my therapist. I'm got myself a therapy. I'm in therapy. And it'd be one thing if you had an actual problem. But you know what your biggest problem is? You know why you're all in therapy? It's because you were lied to. That's it. You don't have a mental problem. Here, let's go through Cappy's model of modern day mental illness. All right. You were lied to about literally everything in your life. everything. You believe that cutting off your tits is going to make you popular. You believe that you're not straight. You believe that Democrats and socialism can still work. You believe you're oppressing blacks. You believe you're being oppressed by whites. You believe that the patriarchy is out to get you. You literally, I don't know how many generations they've told you, follow your heart and money will follow. You believe the third generation now, with literally millions of financial corpses laid before you who majored in dumb shit, you believe you're going to win the lottery and be the one political science major who actually did. You girls believe big is beautiful. You believe you're entitled to fucking Ryan Reynolds. You get every aspect, facet, and corner of your life has been informed by lies. And then once you get out of the artificial environment called school and you're dumped into the real world, and now you have to interact with other people and provide value for other people to counter invest in you, because otherwise, why the fuck would they? You actually think your mere existence is valuable and that the world owes you everything. And then when you find out the world is the exact same way about themselves and no one gives a flying fuck about you, they're completely, it's almost like they're unaware other people exist. You start to fail. And whatever you were promised by the baby boomers and now Gen X parents doesn't come true. Not to mention the actual underlying psychology of abandoning traditional families, not getting married, not having kids, not having a stable job. I'm not saying I'm for those things. I'm just saying that's what happened for eons past. That's genetically hardwired into you. You've left that. It's not you've abandoned. You just left it. It's not part of, you're used to a diet of fish and broccoli, and now you've switched to a diet of milk and cheese, and your body's going to have a different reaction. Same thing with your mind. We used to do these things in society, these traditions, these norms. They're for the most part been taken away from your generation. I'll grant you that, but you also abandon them. Sometimes you girls scoff and mock. Remember how you girls still mocking Ward Cleaver, right? You still mocking Ward Cleaver. I love seeing that happen within women's lifetime. You could see them in their teens. Oh my God, Ward Cleaver, June Cleaver, we slaves, patriarchy. And then by the time they're 38, 39, oh my God, I wish I had a guy who had a job and was stable, had his shit together. Like Ward Cleaver. Does not compute. Boom. Take more Ritalin, sweetheart. Xanax. Sorry, I got my drugs wrong. Ritalin is for young boys. Xanax for 38-year-old female spinsters. Anyway, it's like you're designed to be, a fighter plane is too sexy. The younger generation, you're not designed to be a fighter plane. You're designed to be this cargo plane, this boring old cargo plane. Yet that's what you're designed. That's what you're built as by society. But they then tell you you're going to be a fighter plane. You're going to fly up there and shoot down the MiGs and go Mach 3. And you get your fat, frumpy cargo plane ass there with your old propellers. Why can't I go Mach 3? Why can't I dogfight? That's not something psychologically wrong with you. That's just you were lied to about everything, and life is really hard now. You should be depressed. You should be somewhat socially anxious. You never got out there to go and play. Your feelings should be hurt. You're such a bunch of fragile pussies. No one can tell you the truth. Oh my God, I'm offended. Do you remember that worthless girl with the Egyptian eyes? She had the Egyptian mascara eyes on the whatever podcast. And she says, it's just part of the patriarchy. And then the host, I forget the guy's name, just says, well, misogyny. He says, oh, that's misogynistic. He says, what does that mean? Define it. And she was so stupid, so dumb. She didn't know what that word meant. It was just a buzzword because I feel victim oppressor, boo hoo hoo. And she had to excuse herself because she was crying. That's how inept and completely unprepared you people are for the real world. It's not depression. It's not social anxiety disorder. It isn't agoraphobia. You were just lied to and not properly trained for the real world. And now that you're dumped into the real world, you are flailing. You are drowning. And you don't need therapy. You don't need more drugs. There's nothing wrong with your brain or your mind. You just need to be told the truth. But the irony, just the fucking irony, is that the people who lied to you about literally everything in life, if not the biggest lie, the foundational lie is that you shouldn't have to work hard, that life should be easy, that you're entitled to happiness, you're entitled to free shit and all that. And so combine that with innate human laziness, which was a survival mechanism back in the past to make sure we didn't consume more calories of energy than there was to eat. It was a survival mechanism. It's hardcore. But you combine that entitlement mentality with your hardcore, hardwired human genetic evolution to be lazy. You're like, but the solution is to get off your fucking ass and work. You won't do it. And so you'll do anything but fucking work. You'll do anything. I can't find guys. Lose weight. Patriarchy. Fat acceptance. I can't find a job. Well, you got to go back to accounting. I don't like accounting. I don't like STEM. Well, fucking be miserable then. Continue being. Look, I don't care if you don't want to play by the real world rule. I don't have to do revenge. I don't have to do revenge on leftist, socialist, Democrats. I don't have to, because y'all just keep fucking up. You keep ignoring the real world. You keep making you girls look. Okay, a lot of you guys, you're upset that women have abandoned men. Generally speaking, I find it actually. I'm a little sad. It's a little melancholic, but I look at it more from a fascinating, whatever, human evolutionary perspective. Like, wow, they never liked guys that much. But I can still see emotionally, genetically, you're like, well, I want revenge. How dare they? No one likes being rejected, girls included. Okay, except guys just don't slash women's cars or break their windows. That's women's domain. So women don't like being rejected either. And there's this desire of revenge. I'd say on both sides. You know, you girls, I hate men. Men are pigs. Ah. And you guys like, oh, screw these girls. What? You're not going to get your revenge? You think these girls are happy living this life? They are literally convinced that they're all 10s. And I'm not joking. I mean, not all girls think they're 10s, but they actually think they're going to get an 8 or better. And they won't settle for anything less. And I always warn about you guys, well, it should be both men and women. I'll warn you you get one life. You have to get right with reality. You have to live it and make your decisions in reality, because if you don't, you will waste it. And I think the frontiers of psychological thought or philosophical thought we're on now is, okay, fine, you've been genetically programmed to have each other, the sexes, but right now, that team girl, doesn't really want to have anything to do with you. That puts you in a paradox. You got to figure out what to do. And you must accept that reality. The vast majority of women want nothing to do with you. So now, while you're here, you better figure out a plan B on how to make your life worthwhile. Right? But men have all their life to do it. Women have all their lives to do it too, outside the opposite sex. But women also want men. They pine for Mr. Perfect. They're never going to be happy unless they get him, because that's what they were told. Right? They don't have their entire life. By the age of 40, it's kind of over. It's over for them. They don't give it a full life for the one thing they desperately want after they check off all the other boxes that were much more important to them in life, which number about six. So don't worry, you're going to get your revenge. Have you seen a happy American feminist? Have you seen a happy American female? I know you guys are sad yourselves, but you don't have to do. But it's not mental illness. You don't need a fucking therapist. So you were just lied to. And all I ask is, for the love of God, before you all die, could you become congruent with reality? Could you get your heads out of your asses with this bullshit that you learned in school, or thinking that you're entitled to crap, this Democrat socialism bullshit? Can you get your heads out of your ass and say, oh shit, I'm going to die? Maybe I ought to stop bitching about the white man holding me down. Maybe I ought to stop bitching about the patriarch. Maybe I ought to stop bitching about the Huamans and how they look. Guys, we ain't got time for that. We are. It's like Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. We are going to die. We ain't got time for this bullshit. And you do not have time to misdiagnose your misery as something that has to do with a mental disorder to go talk to a therapist, which isn't going to work because you misdiagnosed the problem. But man, I see, and you know what? You know why you all go? Here's another reason why you all go into therapy is because you're lazy motherfuckers. That's what it boils down to. Oh, I just need a drug. Oh, I just have a problem. And even therapists will tell you, it's like, no, you're the one that's going to have to do the work. You think that there's this magic combination of words that's going to come out of your therapist's mouth that's just going to twist your brain like, oh, now I'm happy. No, your life still sucks. The drug ain't going to change it. The welfare check ain't going to change it. The mental disability check ain't going to change it. You talking to the therapist ain't going to change it because your life is still the same. It's all a lie. And all I'm saying is, why this is where, Cappy, I can't find the girls in my life sucks. Blah, 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 blah. Have you gone for a run? Well, it don't work out. Go for a run. Well, that's hard. Well, then fuck off and have a piss shit miserable life. Go be miserable. Cappy, I don't have money, but it's time to get serious. All right, well, have you thought about joining the military, get the GI Bill, or work 2 jobs? Oh, well, fuck off then. I mean, really. I don't have money. Maybe you should work more. I got too much debt. Well, maybe you should spend less than you make. Why do you think I offer the minimalism course, which is linked below, and it will be open for enrollment for the next 4 or 5 days? Oh, but that's hard. Isn't there a way I can get the girls without going to the gym? Isn't there a way I could achieve happiness and contentment without working hard? Isn't there a way I can get a man without going on the treadmill? I don't care. I don't care. Look, I'm essentially, I'm in the same business as these therapists. I'm benefiting from this perfect aligning of the storm of the stars, this perfect storm forming where we're on our 3rd generation because the millennials are now parents. Heaven, oh my God, I'm never running out of clients. Where they're just not raising you kids right. We're going to keep lying to our kids. The political movement is going for socialism, which provides an economic infeasibility. It's going to render you all more poor. That's fine by me. All right. Women are not changing their attitudes towards men. Women will continue to be very cool and non-responsive to men, to say politely, or just continue their outright hatred of them. Not all women hate men, but an increasing percent do. I estimate, by the way, if you want, go get A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. I do an estimate. I estimate damn near a third of women don't like men, or hate men. Sorry. Most women don't like men, but they don't hate men. I do believe a good third of women harbor hatred towards men. I really, in the West, obviously. And if you sit and think about it, you're like, yeah, it's about right. It's about right. I'm not going to run out of business. The therapist ain't going to run out of business, but ain't nobody going to be improved. I guess the article is kind of moot, but I'm going to read. This comes from Time magazine. Time, the most boomer mag that ever magged. America has reached peak therapy. Why is our mental health getting worse? Because you misdiagnosed it. I'm kind of curious what the boomer says here. Is Time finally admitting that, okay, we've been lying to our children for generations now about what's important in life, how the real world works? I have a feeling it's going to be a Scooby-Doo mystery article. The U.S. has reached peak therapy. Counseling has become fodder for hit books, podcasts, and movies. Professional athletes, celebrities, and politicians routinely go public with their mental health struggles, which no one cares about, by the way. Literally no one cares about you. They don't care about you, and they sure the fuck don't care about your mental struggles. And everyone is talking, correctly or not, in the language of therapy, peppering conversations with references to gaslighting toxic people and boundaries. It took me the longest time to figure out what gaslighting was because I just don't tolerate it, I guess. I'm like, you mean you lied to me? You're lying to me? All this mainstream awareness is reflected in the data, too. By the latest federal estimates, about 1 in 8 adults now takes an antidepressant, and 1 in 5 has recently received some kind of mental health care. I'd love to see it for younger. It's got to skew younger, and it's got to skew female, especially the white woman. Because you girls girl bossed closest to the sun. Like you're the Mercury that goes around. Like we're the white women that are girl bossing. They're Mercury, and then Venus would probably be black women, and then what would Earth be? Earth would who would that be? Latinas. Yeah, Latinas are a little bit more traditional than the Asian gals. You gals are like Mars or Jupiter. You're out there. You still like. Yeah, I guess I like men. I guess I won't get fat. How's that? Would that be? Well, it's gonna be better than everyone else. One is five recently received some kind of mental health care, an increase of almost 15 million people in treatment since 2002. Even in the recent past, from 2019 to 2022, use of mental health services jumped almost 40% among millions of U.S. adults with commercial insurance, according to a recent study in the JAMA Health Forum. But something isn't adding up, even as more people flock to therapy. This is my whole point. Economists suck, therapists suck. They should be fucking banned. You all should be fucking banned. The economy is getting worse. Fuck you, economists. You're not doing your job. And mental health is getting worse. Fuck you, therapists. You're not doing your job. All fraudulent studies or industries. U.S. mental health is getting worse by multiple metrics. Self-deletion rates have risen by almost 30% since 2000. What if that has something to do with fat people? I wonder if a man had a hot, thin wife that he was having sex with regularly. I wonder if that would, and I wonder if men were in shape and had jobs and women might. I wonder. Oh, wait, that's right. You don't need no. Oh, that's right. He's only 5'11" and a half. He makes only $85,000 a year. He's just a junior analyst. I don't know. Pills. Almost a third of U.S. adults now report symptoms of either depression or anxiety, roughly 3 times as many in 2019. And about 1 in 25 adults have a serious mental illness like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, that's legit. Bipolar disorder, no. That's just what pretty girls use to treat people like shit. Cappy, explain pretty girls to me. Let me explain pretty girls. What motivates pretty women? The desire to treat people like shit. That is what they Dracula wakes up for blood. Stalin woke up to murder people and starve them out. Hitler woke up to destroy the Jews. And pretty girls wake up to treat people like shit. But you can't just go right out there and treat people like shit. See, they got this magic shield where they do things that are literally criminal to other people, and that would get them in jail. But they have the shield of bipolar. Now, they don't really have bipolar disorder. They're just a bunch of spoiled Kuantahas where society didn't tell them no, and they're the most psychopathic, evil people ever, right? But they don't actually want to have responsibility or have to treat people kindly, because once again, what motivates pretty women is their desire. Just like Dracula needs blood, pretty girls need to treat people like shit. And so then they get the bipolar shield and why did you slash my tires? Bipolar shield. I'm not bad. I have a mental disorder. I'm bipolar. To which again, I asked the question about nearly all mental disorders. Why is it the behavior always skews to douchebag behavior? Answer me that. I have social anxiety disorder. Okay, so why is it all men, typically? You're really good at video games. You're really good at doing pot. You're really good at eating chicken tendies. Shouldn't it skew to then there's a workaholic? Equivalently extreme behavior on the good side. When it comes to bipolar, why aren't you super nice? Oh my God, I'm going to give you the best blowjob ever. I'll make you cookies. Why does it always skew to asshole douchebag behavior? Because they're not mentally ill. They're evil motherfuckers. I remember there was this concept, the nymphomaniac. Girls were sex addicted. Get the fuck out of here. There's no girls like that. You might find a girl that really likes you and wants to have sex. There's no such thing as just this girl, she really wants to have sex a lot. Oh, the bipolar. As of late 2022, just 31% of U.S. adults consider their mental health excellent. down from 43% 2 decades ago. How? You have so much government welfare. You have affirmative action and girl bossing, and Star Wars is for like girls. And what you come on? Do you guys see the chart? I posted it. It shows how men and women view how women are being treated fairly or good in society, like how society treatment of women, percent responding good. I think it was in 2000, the majority, both men and women, thought society treated women well. Women, I think it was at 56%, and it's just gone down, and now it's like in the 30s for women, maybe it's the low 40s. It's like you keep getting what you want, and you're miserable. One chart tells you why you don't listen to what women when they say what they want. I'm sorry, girls. The data keeps piling up that you do not know what will make you happy. You don't know what you want. You've gotten it all. So you were told that, oh yeah, you commute, you go into debt. Why are girls so unhappy? I don't know. It's a Scooby-Doo mystery. Trends are going in the wrong direction even more as people seek care. That's not true for cancer survival, nor is it true for heart disease. It's not true for diabetes or almost any other area of medicine. That's because psychology is not medicine. Psychology is hokum. Psychology is tea leaves. Cardiovascular health, that's real. That's science. Diabetes, that's science. Psychology, the psychologists don't know what they're doing, just like economists. I don't know. Do you want, maybe we get some more shock? Really, isn't it just like 1 degree of separation between modern day therapy and chakra crystals and wooey incense candles and bullshit? Isn't it just a little 1 degree move to self-love and manifest and all that other bullshit? I don't know. Could it be that we've been lying to Americans for 3 generations now about what's important? Finally, time. I kind of want to get to their solution. I also am being 100% serious about this. You can't have a happy population when everyone is this fat and fucking ugly. When people are this unfuckable, no, you can't be that happy. Thomas Insel, funny name, the psychiatrist who ran the National Institute for Medical Health from 2002 to 2015 and author of Healing, Our Path from Mental Illness to Mental Health. How do you explain this disconnect? Oh, that's a nice chart. Dr. Robert Treisman, chair of the American Psychological Council and Healthcare Finance, says there are multiple factors that play, some positive, some negative. On the positive, let's see, here we go. Here's the Scooby-Doo mystery. Let's see if they figured it out, gang. On the positive side, more people are comfortable seeking care as mental health goes mainstream, becomes less stigmatized, increasing the number of people getting diagnosed with and treated for mental health issues. Nope. I just disagree simply. Let's turn it off. There we go. Less positive, Tressman says, more people seem to be struggling in the wake of societal disruptions like the pandemic and the Great Recession, driving up demand for already taxed system such that some people can't get the support they want or need. Some experts, however, believe the issue goes deeper than inadequate access. Are we going to criticize the industry as being total bullshit? Down to the very foundation of modern psychiatry. As they see it, the issue isn't only that the demand is outpacing supply, it's that the supply was never very good to begin with, leaning on therapies and medications that are only skim the surface of a vast ocean of need. What's really in a diagnosis? Most special medical specialties, doctors use objective data to make their diagnoses and treatment plans. If your blood pressure is high, you'll get a hypertension drug. If cancerous cells turn up in your biopsy, you might start chemotherapy. Psychiatry doesn't have such cut and dried metrics because it's not real. Why would you, seriously, let's just go get the witch doctor down in the jungles of Bolivia. Why don't we just go get the shaman? Why don't we just do astrology? Honestly. Under Insel, numerous NIMH research projects aimed to find a genetic or biological underpinnings of mental illness without much payoff, because there isn't any. Except for, he's going to listen, some conditions like schizophrenia have clearer links to genes than others. Yes. We don't have biomarkers. We don't do a lot of things. Why psychiatry has its Bible, the Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, it's all bullshit. The DSM sets diagnostic criteria for mental health conditions largely based on symptoms. That should all be thrown out. All of you should shut the fuck up. You should admit you don't know what you're doing and say we're going back to the drawing board until we have something tangible. I like my theory better. We've lied to 3 generations of people as to what's important in life. There you go. Done. Answer. I'm done. I'm done with this. Thank you, Time Magazine. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Adjusted for age, she's higher than a 7. I mean, are you talking linear or are you talking Bell? Like Bell distribution, she's like, the typical classic. She's probably an 8, especially adjusting for age. Linearly, dude, you, me, and everyone we know who are in shape, we're all 7s minimum because we ain't fat. Linearly, we're almost all 10s. Except you and me, Chad, because we're short. All right, let's go through the super chats. Dre, $2. Cappy needs height therapy to overcome his rage. Rasul Kuatov, 200 yen. Cappy, have you seen a new ugly MJ in Spider-Man? No, they made way too many Spider-Mans. Mary Jane's supposed to be a redhead white girl. I know they obviously can't have that. I don't care. They ruined April O'Neil and Teenage Mutant Ninja, like one of the most ugly black girls ever. That's fine. They could look if they want to. If they want, okay, it's a lie. Why did Disney fail all this on? Why did Hollywood fail? Why is 2023 their worst year? Because they lived the lie. They wanted to go against biology and tell men that fat, ugly women, particularly of color, were like the most coolest thing ever. It's like, no. And you have just shit stories on top of it too. I don't care if they hired a feminist, a man-hating feminist. Don't tell me she doesn't hate men. Shut the fuck up. She went to Smith College. Look it up. It was like, finally, we'll have a female influence on a Star Wars movie. Fuck out of here with that shit. Go ahead. Aren't we all kind of cheering Disney on to like, yeah, keep doing the war. It's like a drug addict. Like, yeah, you should double your dosage of heroin. I bet you can't drink that much bottle of Rumple Mints. Nonstop Drake, $2. Great one says Cappy good at taking balls to his face. Yes. The Black Channel. Subscribe to the Black Channel. 10 generous dollars. I don't think you got my last question. When you are born, you get a ticket to the freak show. When you're born in America, you get a front row seat. George Carlin. What's Clary's opinion? Yeah, I guess. We're the largest, most advanced economy in the world. And I am 100% convinced that, the good times, weak men. We're right there. We get to see the good times creating the weak men. And we get to see some freakishly dumbass looking shit. Like, are there trans people? Do I actually believe there are trans people? Yes. And they should be accorded the exact same rights and human treatment as everybody else. But Becky, who's 15 and her single mom and her are BFFs, and Becky decides to cut off her tits and become Brad, that's hilarious. Like, I love watching that shit. Yeah, you get to see that all day. Homeless people, not that I'm not sympathetic towards the plight of homelessness. Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. But I'm fascinated by dude, your life is so hard right now. If you just got a job, it would be easier for you. Like, I'm fascinated with their fear of work. That's what fascinates me. Like, wow, you are so afraid of work. You will live in a tent, get lice, high crime. It's dangerous living in homeless encampments. You do all that before you get a job, man. That is fascinating. What is your tolerance of pain? Because if it's that high, you can handle any job. I'm fascinated. We get to see it here in the United States. Carlin was right about. We get to see it right. You and me, we're both men. We get to see it right here, where women actually think being big is beautiful, and they get pissed off when we say no, it ain't. Like Lizzo, isn't Lizzo a freak show? She is, but the bigger freak show is watching regular women worship the fat pig and like actually believe the lies that come out of her mouth. So yeah, we get to see it up close and personal, but you can't tolerate it for long. It was just on a consult with Andrew over at Legal Mindset, and they're telling me about South Korea and Thailand and how people are happier there. They're more normal. They don't have women dyeing their hair blue and purple. They don't have people cutting off their tits or their junk because it'll make them popular in high school. I don't even know if they have high school in Thailand, frankly. Just seems like a normal human civilization doing normal human civilization things, living. But yeah, and I now with the wonders of the internet, I guess I could watch it. But yeah, okay, Black Channel. If you haven't done it, I think everyone should do this. You want to see the freak show? Go down to Fremont Avenue in Vegas. Go there any time of day. You'll see the freak show. You'll see America. You will see. No joke. There's more than one, but one in particular. There's an old, washed-up stripper prostitute on Fremont Avenue, and she's in a wheelchair, and she'll wear like lacy pink lingerie and shit like that. But she's old and wrinkly, and it's like former prostitute, former stripper, and she got her bucket or her hat out panhandling. And then if you want, just go a couple blocks north, go north of the Highway 93, have them look it up, and there's the homeless encampment. Go drive around, just look at it, man. It's like, wow, look at this. Look at this. This is how you chose to spend your life, huh? This is great. We should do more free shit. We should have more unearned money. We should destroy more communities. But oh well. Drew, $2. It seems like it's cool to be in therapy nowadays. Yeah, no, that preceding that, it was my mental disorder is my trait. It's my thing. Oh my God. I suffer from look at Billie Eilish. I don't know if she's real or authentic about it. It could just be shtick and advertisement to advertise the other emo kids. Yeah, that's their badge of courage. They wear that like a badge of honor. Burbshy, 5 Australian, with all the brain rot on TikTok, it makes sense people need a shrink. Yeah, that's why I just don't watch it. But it's out there in the real world too. Go look, go walk in a Walmart, go look around. No one's really happy. That's fine by me. You all worship the false god of, I don't want to say socialism, but abandoning responsibility, entitlement, all that other crap. Nonstop Dre, $362. But Cappy, not everyone beats dogs like you to relax. God, I miss Ivy the dog. Let me show you a picture of the mug again. Ivy the dog. She's a sweetheart. And unfortunately, her owner was renting a room here at the Southern Command. So I got to see Ivy the dog all the time. But then her owner fell in love and moved in with a man. And so I don't get to see Ivy the dog that much. But she promised me I could babysit. And so we'll take out the dog of no real value gleefully and happily. That dog, man, she loves her ball. Sees me, so real quick hi, immediately goes under the couch and finds a ball she left there 3 months ago. I'm like, God dang it, dog. You got more personality than any human I know. Drew, $2. People don't know how to deal with failure. Right. It's never your fault. It's always, see, that's another thing is you're not human after a while, where nothing is your fault. Everything is someone else's. Nothing's your fault. Nothing's your responsibility. So all you become is a dependent variable. You're not unique. You're not taking agency. You're not declaring to the universe and the world, no, I'm going to affect my change. Affect, not effect. I'm going to affect my change. I'm going down this path. But I don't, this is not an advocation for self-deletion. It's a philosophical question. Why is about 85% of Americans alive today? Why are you alive? You're not living. You go and it could be conservative or Democrat. This transcends politics, groups of people, or anything like that. Why is the paycheck to paycheck suburbanite couple who hate each other living in a house they really can't afford with all the SUV? Why are you alive? Why are you fat people? I got a question. Why you are shortening your life and you are not attracting the opposite sex? Now I understand there are problems with the opposite sex today. Set that aside. Wouldn't your genetics compel you to like, well, maybe I ought to get in shape? And then you got to deal with that day in, day out. Why are you alive? A healthy approach would be like, look, I really like food. That's what brings me joy. That's what I like. All right. And I'll do my things to like go and get exercise and work, but food is my number one thing. And I've agreed, I know consciously I'm giving up other things as well, probably shorter life, and I'm not going to attract the opposite sex, but I'm okay with that. I'd be like, okay, cool. That's your thing, man. I get it. Like, my dad likes pickleball. You like food. Like, foodies, most of the time, is an excuse. Some people they like culinary stuff. So I can get it. But if, if you claim you want to have success in life, but then do nothing to get it, and then every kind of failure, which is usually brought on by your own self, you blame on the magical boogeyman of whatever, George Bush, Republicans in the '70s, white people, white males, straight people, the Jews, whatever. Okay, well then why really? Then there's no reason for you to make a mistake. So then what do you do? Well, and if you read the book A World Without Men, I'm critical of men in this book too, by the way. I go through what the everyday life is in the life of a Zoomer, a boy, male. And it's depressing. Like, you just get hits of drugs from one next, and then maybe you fill yourself with food. It's all consumption. And there's no human, there's no love, there's no interaction. Like, wow, that's gotta suck. But man, and it could all go away. Now, a year could go away, but that would require work. Whoa, work. Whoa. And then they're prisoners of their own laziness for their entire lives. 8 decades or short of 8 decades of doing whatever. Adderall, pot, booze, Doritos. Don't know how you do it, Cappy. Big Boss, who is a great man, a wonderful man of intelligence, taste, and good looks and charm, and has absolutely nothing to do with the $100 you just donated me. Thank you very much, Big Boss. Happy New Year, Cappy. Does a father desire a son's time and attention, even though they choose to give you part-time attention, aka weekend father? Wait, does a father desire a son's time and attention, even though they choose to give you part-time attention, aka weekend father? Context: he lives with me, shares a phone with me, and linked bank account due to an IRS problem. Well, your dad sounds like a fuck up, at least in some regards. And I'm presuming you're an adult, you're not a kid. Does a father desire some time attention? Part-time attention. Well, yeah, I don't. Do you? I'm kind of confused. Do you want your dad harassing you every day of the week? Like, my old man came out to Rapid City, and then he started looking at churches and apartments. I'm like, whoa, hang on. Hey, no. Even Rapid City's too close. I don't live in actual Rapid City. I'm like, even Rapid City's too close. Like, you got to go to Edgemont or Spearfish. Get yourself to the north side. And it's not that I don't love my dad, but I don't want him calling me up all the time. I'm like, hey, you want to play pickleball? You want to play pickleball? We're like, no. People need their own lives. Hell, the number one way to keep your relationship going with your woman is get the fuck away from each other. That's somebody you love. You love your kid. Look, I love my nieces, but I don't want to spend all day with them. You can only play doll, Batman, and Barbie. You can only play Batman and Barbie so much. Yeah, I think that's, if he's living with you, you probably got enough time with him. Matter of fact, I think you'd want him out of the house. Yeah, weekends are good. Two days a week. That's more than enough. Happy New. I just want to answer your question thoroughly because it's $100. Does a father's desire, even though they choose to give you part-time attention, aka weekend father, shares a phone line with her? Yeah, do you want him to give you full-time attention? I presume the weekend is because he's working during the day. I don't know. I kind of be happy with that amount. Nonstop Dre, $2. Having a victim mindset is the American way. Great. Yep, exactly. And look at you, Dre. Let's use you as an example. You, black man, you didn't grow up in wealth. You joined the military. You got out. You're pursuing you were pursuing your dream, but then you got employment before you even graduated. I'm probably pursuing it still. And now you're working overseas, exploring different cultures. You chose to do that. Oh my God, I'm black. The white man. Hang on. The record isn't broken enough. Let's get a 6th generation of black people to be dead fucking last in standards of living, health, life expectancy, wealth, all that other stuff. No, I want to hear this song again. We're going to play this song as frequently as Uptown Funk, called "It Ain't My Fault the White Men Held Me Down." Let's play it again. Play it again, Sam. Have you gotten the "you think you're better than us" speech yet from anyone back in the family or back at home? Generation Apollo, $5. Portland Airport brought in therapy llamas during. And now let's criticize the white culture of America. It's here. Going back to the Black Channel's question, the freak show. Not only do we get a freak show, we get a freak show sent through the prism of different traits, whether that's a female freak show like Lizzo, a black freak show of "let's blame white people again" and "you think you're better than us" to the handful of black people that make it out. And then we have the white freak show of Portlandia and Seattle. And just like, that's a crazy prism. That's a crazy, wow. Llamas in the airport. Can someone beat llamas at the airport? I can't beat llamas at the airport. I can't beat the Republic of Chaz. You almost got to give them the go. Bravo, white people. That is a freak show. I don't think anyone's going to top it. Therapy llamas during the holidays to help travelers ease their stress. It's not mental illness. It's just weak people. They don't need llamas in the airport. Didn't they bring in therapy dogs for crunch time at the Ivy League? No joke. Why? Because it's Portland, so why not? Yeah, I think freakish white people took the gold in the freak show. I think they got gold. Shark Taw's, 20 generous dollars. Everybody sign up for Shark Taw's channel if you enjoy shark documentaries and nice relaxing music. What? Really? Yeah, it's his channel is something like, have you ever tried, let's go back 20 years, pineapple on pizza? People are like, what? That's crazy. Are you and then you try, like, oh, that actually pairs quite well. So a documentary channel about sharks with calm, like what's the type? Not jazz fusion, it's not lounge music, but not Vegas-y Frank Sinatra lounge, modern day hip lounge. Try it. Subscribe to his channel. Two personal favorite quotes of mine are: "Facts cannot be altered by a wish, but they can destroy the wisher." Outstanding quote. And "humans are the only species that can act as their own destroyer." Enjoyed the interview with Sartain. Take care. Yeah, I was on Sartain's channel while I was there a week, 2 ago, and he published the show. So it's just him and me shooting the shit. Who's going to carry the boats? I need, these glasses aren't working. I swear, dude, my vision went to pot this year. Who's going to carry the boats? $2. Oh, Frank Manafo the third, hiking guy extraordinaire. $5. My favorite is people posting about their mental health struggles on LinkedIn. Management thanks you for pre-screening yourself. And dude, Frank, they're all younger than us. I got it. Unless they're gals. I could see women our age. Dude, going back to the Black Channel. You want to talk about a front row seat. I don't know how old you are, Black Channel. Wait till you get into your 40s, late 40s as a dude, and you get to see your generation of women lose their fucking shit. The crap they start to subscribe to, not that their youth and beauty is gone. Once they hit menopause, I don't know if it's the chemicals. I don't know if it's their age. I don't know if it's social, culture, or society. Oh, yeah, astrology. Oh, yeah, tarot cards. Oh, yeah. Myers. Oh, yeah. Myers-Briggs. Oh, yeah. Oh, just, this and then the backwards rationalization, and then the man hatred that comes. Well, men, and every guy is like, dude, fuck off. We've tolerated you for so. Shut up. And nobody said, no one listens. They just leave. They just, oh yeah, that's the trouble. That sure is a problem. Third divorce, you say, sure is trouble. Yeah. I don't know what you're gonna do. That sure sucks. All right. Well, I'm off hiking again. La 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 la. Guess what Cappy's gonna do? Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go and get a Breve with heavy cream. Okay. That's how little secret if you want to lose weight. Don't eat breakfast. Don't eat lunch. Around 11 or 12 or so, depending on what time you wake up, you can have yourself a small Breve with heavy cream. That will tide your hunger over until 4 or 5 in the afternoon, maybe 6 in the evening. Then you have yourself a no carb dinner, a big one, steak, chicken, whatever you want. And then you go to sleep. And that's how Cappy got in. That's how I look this way at 48. And the hiking in the gym and all that. And I won't lie, good genetics too. My folks are, I'm very proud of my folks. Both of them are in really good shape for both being in their 70s now. Yeah. They're both in really good shape. They choose life. Non-Stratford Dre, $2. But Cappy, not everyone could be like you, too ahead of its time. Yeah, I guess not. I guess they can't. See, when people say that, you think you're better, must be nice. We can't all be so lucky. Not everyone can be you. No, everyone could be me. Everyone could be everyone. Dre, right? The guys you grew up with, they could have made the same choice, join the Marines. They could have made the exact same choices, been where you are. Maybe in their own variant or flavor to their personality. They didn't, though, did they? They could, but they chose not to. And see, that's the thing, man. People are so afraid of work, they will ruin their lives for it. I'm just fascinated by that. Like, that scares the piss out of me. Being poor, being hungry, like that. Maybe it was a blessing. It's just like, I don't ever want to do this again. And it motivated me to get the fuck out of it and do what I want in life and assess it. And I'm like looking at these people. Why are you in a tent in 10 below zero weather? And by the way, ladies, right here, because it's mostly you. I don't want to hear the fucking excuse. Well, they have drug dependency. Well, I guess they better get off the drug dependent. I don't see what I used to be an alcoholic, but I am an alcoholic. I still had a job, still kept it together. Some of them have mental. No. Shh. They didn't have fathers. Let's diagnose things correctly. You girls saying they have mental disorders, they have drug addiction problems. That hasn't lessened the amount of homelessness. Now has it? It's just increased it now, has it? Oh my God, there's homeless people on the bus. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe you should vote for more money to keep them alive. Never let them hit rock bottom. Never actually let it so that they're liberated and free and actually can salvage lives. Nope, you just keep enabling them, sweetheart, because the power of white woman. What was it? Reagan had a quote similar. It says that the scariest phrases, we're from the government, we're here to help. I think that was Reagan. And there was some paraphrase like, when white women come to help, you're fucked, or some when white women come bearing gifts, some along those lines. Maybe you guys know the quote. Thomas V, $5. I want to know your thoughts on dink marriages. I had one divorced now, Gen Xer, and I have never met another dink married person. I suspect they don't benefit men due to female solipsism. I don't know what if you're not gonna have kids, I don't see the reason of getting married. And I think by our age, you and I being Gen X, and certainly the younger generations, if you're not going to have kids, I think anyone slightly intelligent, you're saying, I don't see the reason of getting married. There just isn't a reason. It's added expense. It's unnecessary complication. For men, obviously, it's a huge legal and financial liability. You see both men and women getting out of that. And also, let's also look at it from the individual perspective, both the men and the women. If you're younger and you're not going to have kids, well, then obviously your focus would then be yourself. And yes, I guess by definition that's selfish, but I don't mean in a negative way. It's just, well, we're not going to have kids. That's how I live. You say, well, what do I want to do in my life? And usually people who don't want to have kids are more, career independent philosophy. So they're very self-centered. Again, not negative. I'm just describing it. And then when you run into somebody else, you're like, okay, well, you would be a supplement or an additive to my life. You're going to be positive in theory, but I don't see a reason for us to sign this piece of paper. I bet you if you looked at Dink's as couples, they're not really into the touchy-feely, wooey, wooey, wah, woo, wah bullshit. I don't think most of their, well, I think the men and women be less, I think their weddings would be cheaper if they did get married because it's not that important to them. I could be wrong. Um, but there's no reason to get married, period. Even if you are going to have kids, be committed to each other, present yourself as husband and wife in a state that you don't get actually married. Uh, it's for the sake of the kids, though. But do not sign that piece of paper. Rule 5 of Cappy's 5 rules: men, not women, men don't get married. Ex Destiny Gunblade, 5 Canadian. Stop rejecting our applications if you want workers. Bravo. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Ex Destiny. I've been there before where we really need people. You see the same job posting over and over again, months after you applied and they didn't, and no one gets back to you. I have no sympathy for these corporations, none whatsoever. And nowadays, I don't, it might benefit you. I don't know if you're minority or not, but if they're going to do affirmative action and promote, black vagina over I'm sorry, not black vagina, black lesbian vagina, or crippled black lesbian vagina. HR women cream their pants when they see that applicant. If they're going to do it, fine. Have fun. And if they're going to make it that hard to get jobs at a certain point in time, it's like, yeah, go collect your disability check. Go get some stimmy checks. Why not? You've sent out applications, right? You've done your job. Hand clogs, $2. Cappy, who hurt you? Have some hopium or copium. Everyone hurt me. Oh my God! Look at this special guest celebrity, Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field. Donation happy beer to start off the year. Thank you. Today, where does today's donations go? I already bought the support brackets, but I get reimbursed for that. Not to bore you guys, but tradesmen, go fuck yourselves. You guys suck. So closets, right? You got those hanging racks and they put the diagonal bar. You would put the support bracket into the stud. Nope, they put it right into the sheetrock with an anchor. And it was, clothes weigh a lot. I guess 100 pounds of clothes weighing on this. I'm surprised that all of them, there wasn't one anchored into the stud. So I had to go and do that. I guess today's donations go to my Breve latte. Gas? Cappy doesn't buy a lot of fancy shit. I should go golfing one of these days. I'll be going golfing. Iron Beast 72. $5. Vegas local. Cappy is right about Fremont. Absolute shit show. Yeah. I use that as the barometer for America's culture. If you want to see where America is going, go there. Geez, Big Boss again, $100 generous dollars. I mistyped. I was trying to say, does he deserve my time and attention despite you don't have to donate another $100, Big Boss. You just donate $5 or something. I mistyped. I was trying to say, does he deserve my time and attention despite being a weekend father when I was a child? Thank you for your insight. No, I'm going to be perfectly honest. And it's not because he was a weekend father. Now, I can understand men had to work during the weekdays, and then they have a weekend father. Fathers should have invested in their sons during the daytime as well. Helped you with your homework, played ball, taught you good and bad, that kind of thing, skills, whatever else, even philosophy a little bit. If you got a weekend anyway, that's still pretty good for your average boomer father. But where I'm drawing a line is, why is he living with you and why does he have IRS problems? So it indicates to me he cheats, he's dishonorable, he has unethical behavior or a lack of principles and morals because he got in trouble with the IRS. I'm not a fan of the IRS, but if you don't pay your taxes, fuck you. So it sounds like he's kind of a skeezy guy on top of it. And so that's the world of should. The other is the world of is. Do you have time to do that? I don't even give my girlfriend unlimited time. I got shit to do. You got to cover your Maslow's hierarchy of needs first. You got to save up enough money for retirement. You preferably have to have a plan B in case this turns into a Marxist shithole. All these mentally ill kids who end up becoming leaders of society. I mean, you think it's bad now. Wait till Madison and Tanner and Trayvon all come up there with their political science degrees and the journalism degrees and the religion of victimhood ideology. All right, so we got that. Let me do one sponsor, academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com to have all your college papers written for you, because college is a farce. It's bullshit. It's not real. Alex and his team of writing staff will write your papers for you. Tell them I sent you, academiccomposition.com. There you go. Let's talk a little bit of my hometown, or my new hometown, South Dakota. So if you tune in to the great one, Cynical Libertarian Society, which, just a forewarning, he is not a fan of not white people and not males. I listened to one podcast. I'm like, okay, he's in a mood. But one thing he does cover, and I didn't know this about South Dakota, is apparently, especially adjusting for the population, there is a lot of child trafficking going on. They have a problem with that at the Sturgis motorcycle rally, which I found shocking, because usually motorcycle guys are pretty honorable and they'll fucking kill you if they find out that you're doing something to kids. I mean, there's no joke about that. But they have to set up a sting operation because there's enough traffic coming through. There's also some issues with the Indian reservations. Unfortunately, a lot of poverty there, which results in, sadly, incest and childhood stuff as well. But it is by no means regulated to the Indian community, not by a long shot. Because the great one will go over it. He calls, like, what is this, South Dakota's state sport? And it's gross, it's sick, it's sad. But there is, I think South Dakota has 1.2 million people in it. There's an awful lot of stories of people getting busted for childhood, not you should do that. Like the worst, I can't think of anything, the worst sin against humanity possible. So here, the GF sent this to me from KOTA, Kota Territory, Rapid City, South Dakota. Cell phone tracking leads police to missing Indiana girl in Wisconsin, court docs say. And you say, what does this have to do with South Dakota? Just follow me on this. Here's a picture. This is what you guys raised. I'm seeing the three people here, all white, by the way, just in case you were wondering. They look like they got the who dang diggly do. This girl looks like Wyoming trash. I've seen it. And by the way, they're from a town called Edgemont, South Dakota, which is right on the edge of the border with Wyoming. These just look like you degenerate pieces of shit. I know we're all paying taxes to raise these assholes. And they're all in their 20s, mid to late 20s. But you look, here you go. Here's your future. They don't have these people in Japan. They don't have them in South Korea. They don't have them in Thailand. They don't have them in the Philippines. Wells County, Indiana. Court documents released in the kidnapping of an 11-year-old Wells County girl. Okay, so the little girl, 11 years old, little girl, 11, lives in Indiana. Show police were able to track down her location in Wisconsin using cell phone data from her kidnapper. All right, she is from Indiana. They found the girl in Wisconsin. Probable cause documents say the Wells County Sheriff's Department was contacted by a woman on Saturday, December the 30th, about a child abduction after her 11-year-old daughter went missing. You will also notice the father could not be reached for comment, because we don't need fathers. I would love to see the data. Feminists, you care about 11-year-old girls, don't you? Let's go see the data of the percent of young girls that are kidnapped and have the atrociously horrible thing done to them. I want to see what percentage of them are without fathers. Don't need no man. I cannot tell you people who utter those words enough to go fuck yourself. You have no fucking clue how desperately you need men. It's just the most arrogant, naive, stupid thing people say. Police say they began to search the area near their home, finding the child's phone nearby. The mother allegedly told police her daughter had been recently caught sending sexual images to two people. Let's stop here. Let's stop here. Why does an 11-year-old have a cell phone? Where's the dad to make sure if this was my kid, not kidding, and I found out who these people were, there'd be a conversation with the sheriff of that county where these people were. I'm like, you're going to get them, you're going to arrest them. Because if you don't, I'm going to fucking kill them. I drive all the way, but we'll find out where they are in Edgemont, right? And then my daughter, somehow I failed. Oh no, we're in a convent. Nope. But she doesn't have a dad because mommy don't need no man. She let her daughter have a cell phone. Daughter at 11 is sending sexual messages to adults in South Dakota. I know this is one story. I know out of a population of 320 million Americans, some horrific shit is going to happen. But can we lessen the amount of horrific shit by having fathers introduced into? No, that's all right. The female teachers at daycare in the public schools in preschool will take care of her. By the way, you women can't raise your kids for shit on your own. You just can't. You're really bad at it by yourself. Just as men, others dad and show men do generally better. But see, at least us guys, we admit that children need their mothers. You're so infatuated with this feminist hate movement that you love it more than you love your child because it's really important to you to make sure the dad isn't involved. And if your daughter gets kidnapped by a bunch of sexual predators, at least you didn't have to have a dad around. You don't need now. Well, we want to help little girls. We're feminists, but not if it comes at the expense of acknowledging men are needed in society. Oh, come on. Oh, then you get kidnapped and do whatever you want to as many little 11-year-old girls. We can't give up the ideology. Our politics are more important than children. That's why do you think we drop them off at daycare? Witnesses told the police 2 men were seen in the van, documents say, and were also spotted walking in the area with the dog. One witness told police they saw the van in the same area where the girl's phone was found. Using forensic analysis, police say they learned a phone number belonging to Zachary Dolizier of Edgemont, South Dakota. Look it up, Atham, far southwest corner. Just literally, it's right above Nebraska and right to the east of Wyoming. And just so you know, like there's only a couple other towns that are more remote than that. Like the fact these fuckers drove all the way from Edgemont, South Dakota, and were probably taking her back there. There's nothing. If you want to get lost, if you want to bury a bunch of little children's bodies, that's the place to do it. There's nothing out there. I wonder if fathers would prevent little girls from being and buried in the middle of fucking nowhere, South Dakota. People, what is that? That's Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska. Well, I guess they went through Wisconsin. That's like 4 states over. 4 states over. Like, okay, hey, have girls offered me, hey, if you're ever in town, I'm a real big fan. Yeah, it's happened. But I'm thinking like, well, Tennessee's kind of far away. I don't care how good, it's too far away. I don't have time for that. These people, because thank God you women keep voting Democrat to give these people drugs and food and free health care and free lodging, so they have literally nothing else to do. They actually have the time to drive 4 states over. They drove, they didn't fly. Okay, hot girl, normal adult relation. Okay, if I'm in town, sure, maybe, why not? But no, I'm not gonna fly. I got time for that. Oh, thank God you girls voted for socialism, so these people could have literally nothing else to do. That they could afford to drive 4 states one way to get an 11-year-old girl to drive all the way back. Let me guess, you girls want to pay for these people's therapy instead of a bullet, huh? Right? Right? No one's evil. Edgemont, South Dakota had called the girl's phone 28 times within the hour she went missing. 28 times. Like, not the smartest. ISP officers then began to track Dolzier's phones and learned a white van with South Dakota plates was spotted. Why do they always drive vans? Was spotted on camera headed across Indiana towards Chicago. Then around 12:11 a.m. on Sunday, Dolzier was shown headed through Wisconsin. ISP then contacted Wisconsin police, who were too busy issuing bullshit speeding tickets. Oh, I'm sorry, who were able to locate and stop Dolzier's van in the southern part of the state in Iowa City. Inside the van, police found the girl along with 27-year-old Dolzier, 23-year-old Sarah Guadino of Rapid City. Oh, we got some representation on the north side. And a 24-year-old Isaiah Shrivers of Rapid City, South Dakota. Investigators say they also recovered a gun. Police say they then called the girl's mother, not the father, who said she did not know who the three adults were and believed they took the girl for crimes against her will. You think? The woman said she believed one or more of the suspects had been messaging her daughter. These guys went on the fucking internet. They went on the fucking internet to find a girl probably nationwide. And they did. But you don't need dads protecting your daughter. Nope. Here's a cell phone, sweetheart. Court documents say the girl told police she remembered being at home with her parents around 3 p.m. on Saturday when she woke up in a vehicle with the three suspects, not knowing who they were or how she got there. Not knowing who they were, but then why was she messaging them? See, this... Dolzier is currently charged with kidnapping and has an extradition hearing set for Friday afternoon in Wisconsin. Both Guardino and Shrivers are also charged with kidnapping and are in the process of being extradited to Wells County. It's interesting how one goes to Wisconsin, the other goes to Indiana. There you go. And yes, we should shame South Dakotans for this. We should shame everyone. We should highlight these people. But we don't need dads. I want to know that. I want the percentage of children. Let's just go with children. The percentage of children that are abducted, what percent didn't have fathers around? That's what I want to know. Just want to know. Because I'm sure single moms living in the trailer park in Indiana, I'm sure they really bring their kids up in stable environments. The idea you don't need men. So fucking hilarious. Well, I guess in this case, it's tragic. Let's click on this. This is a week old. You all sent this to me. Pizza Hut fires over 1,200 drivers in California before new $20 minimum wage comes into effect. I love it when Democrats destroy jobs for the working poor. I hope y'all. Do you not get it? Do you poor people not get it? Like, just because it sounds like a good idea doesn't mean when it comes into practice it's gonna be beneficial to you. It might actually harm you. What would you rather have? 1,200 jobs that paid, I don't know, $12 an hour, or 0 jobs that pay $20? Multiple Pizza Hut operators throughout California announced on Tuesday that they would be laying off hundreds of drivers before the new state minimum fast food wage of $20 an hour comes into effect on April 1st. The new law, Assembly Bill 1228, has been one of the most contentious of the year. Originally, the bill would have raised the minimum to $22 an hour and hold franchise corporations accountable for labor law violations at individual locations. In addition, thanks to the new Fast Food Council. Fast Food Council. You guys got that much time, huh, man? You just can't let the labor market be. You just can't let people figure it out, come to their own agreement and accord. You have to set up a Fast Food Council. Created from a new law signed last year, benefits like paid leave and predictive scheduling would be introduced. Fast food companies swiftly took action to hold a referendum on the minimum wage, as well as more electronic kiosks going up to replace cashiers. You can have $12 an hour or nothing at all. We'll take nothing at all. Good. You really are helping those poor people there. And then the poor people, but we need a living wage. No, your parents shouldn't have had you. I'm sorry. It's not a criticism of you. Your parents had too many kids that they could afford. And you should make sure you don't make the same mistake. And unfortunately, you were born to the wrong family. You need to make sure you don't have more kids than you could afford. You need to get out of that poverty by joining the military, working hard. I know it's not right. It's not fun. Take it up with your whore of a mother, okay? And please use birth control. Please make sure no future generations of your family or lineage goes through that again. The solution is not bitch and whine for $20 an hour and have more kids. Because now you don't even have the $10 an hour job. You just have mouths you have to feed. But welfare, great. Let me know how that's working for what are we on now? The fifth generation of welfare recipients since the Great Society installed itself. Let me know how that's going. With local governments prohibited from raising it even further in exchange for dropping the referendum as well as other smaller provisions. I don't care if cities want to just destroy themselves, go ahead. Following passage in October, fast food companies and groups have been warning of dire consequences. This has included more automation, higher prices, reliance on third-party companies, and numerous layoffs to help stay profitable. The law is going to have a wage impact for our California franchisees, said McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski during an earnings call in late October. I don't think at this point we can say exactly how much of that is going to work its way through pricing. Certainly, there's going to be some element of that does need to be worked through with higher pricing. There's also going to be things that I know the franchisees and our teams are going to be looking at around productivity. That's a word you Democrats don't understand. How it plays out, there will always be a hit in short term to franchise cash flow in California. Tough to know exactly what that hit will be because of some of the mitigating efforts. Very, very good CEO statement there, sir. Here we go. Pack Pizza LLC, operating as Pizza Hut, has made a business decision to eliminate first-party delivery services and, as a result, the elimination of all the delivery driver positions, said the Employment Development Department through a WARN Act notice on Tuesday. Another operator, Southern California Pizza Company, also announced layoffs around 841 drivers across the state. Those layoffs are currently set to occur now through early February, with severance pay being offered. Following the layoffs, the Pizza Hut locations will rely on delivery companies such as Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash to deliver pizzas. Experts told the Globe on experts, here we go, what are the experts going to say? That more fast food layoffs were likely to be announced in the coming months before the April 1st date, when fast food minimum wages go up from $16 to $20. The $4 an hour is going to help you in California. It is. Now, if you didn't have a bunch of mouths to feed, it wouldn't matter. But they've been warning everyone like crazy that things like this were going to happen, said fast food restaurant consultant Linda Medina to the Globe. A lot of people in favor of the law are saying how companies would be warning of layoffs, but then just rolling with it. Well, this kind of shut them up today. And this is just two operators for Pizza Hut. It's not even January. This may be very well the starting gun. Other pizza franchise and operators may follow their example now that they did that. Yeah, how many Asian restaurants rely on delivery? Yeah, good, man. Have fun. I guess the quickest solution is to become an Uber Eats driver, but I can't afford a car. That's because you had too many kids, and so did your mother. Stop it. It can end this generation. You can have a life. Stop having kids you can't afford. Ba 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 ba. There we go. Let's go to some. Hang on. I highlighted this. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going through some fan mail. I did the answer. Dan writes, I also watched the Anti-Alienation Project on YouTube. Girl gained perspective by getting married and having her own kids. Then she was alienated from her dad of 20 years. Oh, yeah. So this guy sent in a real-world marriage request and about how his children were alienated from him. And I'm of the very stoic, even heartless approach that if your kids have been alienated from you by your divorced spouse, your ex-spouse, you let them go. Because I've never seen it where you actually got your kids unalienated and they come back to you. So save your money. But that's a year. They're not coming back. They're not. You're dead to me. So I guess the Anti-Alienation Project. There we go. South Korea Life. Hi, Cappy. I've been watching your videos for years, and more you're talking about a tour of Asia, South Korea. So, as an American who lives in South Korea, I thought I'd send you this email about what life is like here. I'll provide you some factual information as best as I know them, tips and tricks. Uh, I'm an American male, did a stint in the Army in 2000, but got a job to teach English in Korean public schools. So, after doing my tour in Iraq, I basically left the Army to go teach in Korea. That was over 15 years ago. While I met my future wife, a Korean, started a family, and eventually started my own Hagwon, an English academy. By the way, starting your own Hagwon is kind of the dude bro thing to do here. The demand is high for native teachers. It's easy business to start, but it's also very competitive. Yeah, it's like realtors or I don't know, personal trainers. Well, that was going on. I joined the U.S. Army here. The Hagwon business before the ladies. Yes, I make good money. My family's well taken care of. And no, I will not go into debt for wifey poo or even myself. Oh no, where have all the good men gone? I'm saving my money to buy land. Geography. South Korea is a little smaller than the state of Kentucky with 51 million people. Weather is similar to something like Eastern United States. It's very mountainous, though, which means most cities are in valleys and roads are narrow. Most wilderness is pushed into the mountain with the lowlands used for development and farming, except for the military training grounds. Many of those are actually in relatively flat lands. Language and culture. As you know, South Korea is a monoculture country, but thanks to the U.S. military presence, a booming economy, globalization, and the rise of K-pop, South Korea hosts over 2 million foreigners from many countries, like Russia, Nigeria, China, Canada, Vietnam, and the States, Australia, etc. Some of these people do low-wage work like manual labor to actual office jobs. As a result of this, South Koreans are marrying those foreigners and, of course, having children. Everyone's experience is different, with some kids facing bullying and discrimination to being widely loved and having their own TV shows. Heck, some of the contractor friends' kids are featured on TV regularly. See, that's weird. I've never understood that K-pop. Same thing in Japan. Like, their hottest men are the most effeminate-looking dudes. I'm like, how is that a thing? I don't. It is. It's a complete, like, it's not bad. It's just, I think it's the complete opposite culture. Like, if you were to take Western culture, multiply by a -1, you would get obviously Eastern culture. But I mean, also from, well, that's just weird, man. Wow. And they're probably looking at us like, whoa, what's with your fat women? Well, you got us there. We didn't ask for that. But these boys with their hair, like that's the heartthrob. Like, that's the guy. I mean, you think we got soy boys? Holy shit. Family structure is important. Marriage and nuclear families are encouraged, however, due to the expense of raising children and modern dating norms, such as younger people hooking up and not getting married, the population is declining. By the way, I don't mean to argue with you, but despite what the book of Numbers says, women still like men. Men and women get together is not a problem, although they may not necessarily be getting married as stated. But maybe in Korea, I'm thoroughly convinced women just don't like men that much. I'm not saying they hate them again. At least here in the United States, women just are generally not that interested in men. Now, the bad news. South Korea is influenced by the West, both for good and bad. Tattoos are spreading here like the plague. Koreans are lemmings, to be honest. When a trend starts, it spreads like a wildfire here. However, it's not as bad as the States yet. So what, are they going to get fat? Divorce has also spiked in recent decades. You said that they like men. Supposedly up to 50% of marriages failing. Tinder is here along with some inroads by feminism. I have a lot more to share, but this is already long enough. If you want, and you want to go hiking, plus my kids need me. However, I'll send you an email with the promised tips to succeed. All right, cool. No, I appreciate that. Let me, that will go into the global reconnaissance folder. And there we go. Written from Blair. Hi, Aaron. I was interested in your video where you talked about so many people not seeing Die Hard, which surprised me. I'm age 32. My dad showed me the movie, and I am sure I went through all my friends' age and I am sure if I went through all my friends my age from the UK or Western Europe or Asia or Africa, same would probably apply for most of my age or younger or older overall. My parents have been married for 50 years, which probably did help my dad show me as a kid. Yeah, your dad knew what he was doing. I mean, well, your parents are older than me, though, if they've been married 50 years. I also, for drinking thing, when I turned 8, I don't think I don't think you're English native speaking. I also, for drinking thing, when I turned age 18, I got the usual, a bottle with whiskey with my surname attached to it, common Scottish tradition. Maybe different rules in America to Europe, but it's commonplace. I know In France, instead of whiskey, you get wine, or England, you get a beer, or normally Ireland whiskey or beer or something else, I believe is pretty common over Europe. Thank you. Thanks, your great YouTube videos. I watch most days of the week. Now hope you have a good Christmas and New Year, and I hope you keep making money since you more than deserve ITM for why I'm going to buy all your books next year, probably ebooks. So I could take it when I leave UK if you're Asia next year, hopefully. Well, thank you very much for the kind email, Blair. We appreciate it. Me, it's just me here. We'll put that in. That's a nice one. That goes into the book. And then I think that's it. All right. Let's go to the super chats one more time. Spice Weasel, $50. Get your Spice Weasel. Thank you very much for the 50. I got to do something with the money. What should I do with the money? What should I do with the money today? I'm so excited. I'm actually like, after I'm done with this, I can go play. I'm going to download some Turd Flinging Monkey. I'm going to listen to I'm just going to go hike in the middle of the desert, man. I'm going to hike in the middle of the desert. I have no sympathy for drug addicted addicts, especially ones that use coke, meth, opiate. Well, here's another thing. You're not born a drug addict. And the cool kids, Amy, you don't understand. They're the ones that did it to themselves. Here's another thing. How is this my responsibility? This is my responsibility. That's them. They did that. The homeless don't owe you anything. We don't owe the homeless anything. We don't owe each other anything. Again, you want to know why there's homeless people? Because there weren't any dads kicking people's asses saying, go get a fucking job and know you're not doing drugs. This touchy-feely, positive reinforcement, cake all the time with your little children, female raising, doesn't fucking work. I want to know the percentage of homeless people that didn't have fathers. That's what I want to know. And by the way, if you don't have a dad and you don't want to be homeless, but you don't know what to do, please take my course. It's available on teachable.com. It's called The Dad You Never Had. Then you can take the other one I have linked below. It'll be called Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. The only addicts I sympathize with are the ones given drugs from doctors who lied to them about the drugs they were prescribed. Keep the fentanyl flowing off them. Keep the fentanyl flowing, F them. Yep. Everything's my responsibility. It's always my fault. I'm like, the fuck it's my fault you had more kids than you could afford. The fuck it's my fault you put that heroin needle into your vein. None of this is my fault. And I'm sick and tired of the woman telling me it is. You have a penis through magical, college worthless, theoretical bullshit rationalization. You owe them. Nah, no, I don't. Oh, by the way, will you marry me? With only a 50% chance I'll take half your money? Yeah, I'm gonna jump right on this. Nonstop Dre, $2. Oh, wait, did I read everything? You gave me $50. Yep. Nonstop Dre, $2. A wounded dog a day keeps Cappy's rage away. PETA. I do not beat dogs. Dre, $2 again. Donates for Cappy's new nonprofit Manlit Uprising. Dre again, $2. Cappy work out his arms at a better. Well, jeez, Dre. Jeez. All right. That's it. I think I did all the. Okay. Link below. Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. That is open until the 8th for enrollment. If you got your New Year's resolution, you want to get your finances together, recommend taking it. Yes, it's $450 plus sales tax. No, it's not overpriced because, yes, you piss away way more money than that on a month. And yes, if you actually get unaddicted to spending and actually get your financial shit together, you will not be some piss poor boomer. I got some guy, what do I do for retirement? I'm 72. I mean, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're going to work till you're dead. Stop asking. Don't be a 72-year-old that has to email, what do I do for retirement? Please don't be that guy. If you think, oh, it's ridiculous to spend that much money. Well, that's why you might take it seriously. Is that enough of a kick in the nuts for you? If you pay me $500, you're like, oh, shit, maybe I should make this count. So there's that. There's other books. If you want to get your financial act together, there's Bachelor Pad Economics, the Financial Advice Bible for Men. There is Achieving Financial Excellence. That's another course that's cheaper. That's more of an introductory philosophical course to get you motivated to start retirement savings. So take that if you want. You get a little bit of a discount on the minimalism course because there is some overlap, not a lot, but some. That's always. There's the books on how. Look, okay, you can't control your spending, but can you at least make sure you don't give half your money to women? Right? Give my 2 books out there that approaches women as one would approach an investment, because you are going to spend money on them. You are. The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women, so you know how to chase them intelligently and not go bankrupt in the process of doing so. There's some that'll save you the $500 you could take the minimalism course with. And then there's also A World Without Men, where I don't know about you, I'm sick and fucking tired of having worthless fucking people just because they got different plumbing saying we're worthless. No, we fucking ain't. And I don't know if it's the sad, but it's the real reality. By the way, I'm not a valuable man. Right? I hate this we men. No. I'm not Thomas Edison. I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm a schmuck who was a banker and turned into a podcast. I'm not Jeff Bezos. You see what I'm saying? It's just that the left, but particularly women, love tribalism. They love to have everything based on traits, and the trait being female for women. They're always the we. We did that. No, you're not Madame Curie. Madame Curie is impressive. Alice Hopper is amazing. Those are amazing people who did amazing things. Just because you share the same gender doesn't mean you're amazing. You're a fucking worthless piece of shit. It's the same thing here with men. I just don't want you guys to be demoralized. Like, I'm a man, I have a penis, I are bad. It's like, no. You should not be judged based on your gender. But if we're going to do that, men as a group has a pretty good track record. We pretty much dominate in everything, and nothing would fucking exist without us. So if you want to make some good money, find out what previous men have done in the past to make society go and make a lot of money, and go do that. But this bullshit that you are bad because you're a male, fuck you. And the book, you know what, where the Book of Numbers really should be sold is some girl, your sister, your mom, whoever, friend, we don't need men. You get them that book. Oh, really? You don't need men? Read this. And when you're done, and then you could say the next time, we don't really need men. Like, did you read the book I sent you? No? Okay, I don't want to talk about it. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, hassleconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.